Marvelous morning. Awesome afternoon and wonderful evening. This is Carla from MindPlore with Carla and Friends. And today I know I've been gone for a while, but I'm here today and life is back to normal. And until I'm leaving, I will be here on a regular basis. I thought I was going to be traveling right now, so I had to take a little time off in order to get the travel together. The travel will be in February, and I'll probably take some time off getting that all together too. Having said that, in this part of the world, and I cannot understand why no one here is smiling. There's a lot, we're talking about joy. Everyone's talking about Christmas and they're stressed out going out and shopping. But the real value of Christmas is the joy that it's supposed to bring us. The joy for me is Hanukkah, but it doesn't matter. It's the joy. And what I'm asking is whether the joy comes from inside or does it come from outside? Many people think, oh, I'll get gifts or I'll see family. But is that where the real joy is? Or is the real joy within ourselves and we spread it out? We were talking for a moment before the show about this, and someone said, oh, it's so philosophical, but not really. It's something that is a part of our lives. And having said that, I need to do a little background work. I'm hoping you guys will share out the show during the show. I will put the links in the chat. And I want you to just be a part of this. Let's have some fun. Let's have some laughter and not be so serious. Because even if we're using our minds and thinking about expanding our minds, that shouldn't be a serious thing. That should be a fun thing. And it should be coming from the heart and not necessarily from the head. Am I saying the right thing or am I saying the wrong thing? No one really cares. They just want to hear what you have to say. And as they're saying it, and I'll include myself, we're always thinking about what would I say? Do I agree? Do I not agree? Who cares? You need to be yourself and you need to let it go. Having said that, Shivali, I would like you to give me your thoughts on what I just said.
Thank you, Carla, and thank you to all our viewers for coming on board and watching us tonight. And I'm Shivali from India, from Delhi NCR. I'm a coach, trainer, and a healer. And hi to Shiksha also here for joining us. And yes, the topic is all about happiness. And it comes appropriately in the month of December when we are looking forward to the celebrations once again, Christmas. So that sense of joy, well-being, filling our spirit with the divine spirit. So this is how I'm looking at it. And this question of whether it lies outside us or whether it's within us is something that we need to look at. And for that, I think what I feel that we have to understand that what is our perception of happiness? For different people, happiness means different things. And most of the time we find that if we look at happiness as something which is in terms of our acquisitions, our material possessions, and we all know that in spite of having the best of things, yet human beings are never happy. So we have to really figure out then wherein lies the source of true happiness. And for me, it lies in the way I create my life, in the way we create our lives, with the right spirit, with determination, with courage, because we know there will be challenges. So I feel that life will offer us everything, the good and not so good, yet we forge ahead with that, with that spirit of joy in creating a life that is worthwhile, finding the purpose of a life. And that is meaning of finding true joy.
Shivali, but the question is, where is joy? Is joy within or is it without? Is it due to the things that you get inside? Or is it due to whether you get the new car you wanted for Christmas or whether you get something else? So I want to know where that joy comes from and what
Well,
meaning
being human,
to you.
see, being human, obviously, even I like material stuff. I will not deny that. That's important for me. But then the question is that I may have a certain thing, yet that happiness, it flickers. If I have one car, I want another one. If I have a particular qualification, I want to add on something. So life continues like this. So ultimately, it makes me feel that in spite of whatever, we keep on searching externally, ultimately the source lies within me as an individual. I have to kind of come back to myself, because as a human being, I'll never be satisfied. I always will yearn for something more. Like if something is not within my reach, once it's within my reach, I will once again, that's human nature. We know about this. We experience this on a daily basis. So that is what makes me think, then what is life all about? It is merely searching in the externals all the time, satisfying my external needs in terms of whatever I want to possess. I can do that, that's important, but ultimately it makes me turn inward. So I feel again, once again, that ultimately the source lies within me. I will have to search for it, maybe. It's a process. There's nothing called fixing it. I can't speak in terms of a formula. There is no formula for life or for happiness or for joy, I feel. The very fact that I'm breathing right now should make me feel joyful. But the question is, does Shivali feel that all the time? She doesn't, because there will be challenges in life. So the source definitely lies within me. It's how I strengthen myself. It's how I change my experience of life and thereby change my perception. And that is why happiness is so closely related to the purpose of life. That why I've been given this life.
Why have you been given this life, Shivali?
There has to be some purpose, at least down the years. Some realization has seeped in. Maybe 20 years ago, I wouldn't have spoken like this. Not at all. I wouldn't have spoken like this. Today, at least I can make certain statements or I can say something. Maybe 20 years ago, I never even felt the need for searching for joy as such, because everything was there around me, maybe. Everything is there the way it has to be. And I'm quite happy about it. But slowly with progress, I realized that no. So I am still wanting certain things more. And sometimes when I don't get the way I want things are there, they are good, they are excellent. Yet I may not perceive it as excellent. So therein lies the challenge for me as a human being, for all of us, I think. So it makes me question, and this realization is seeping in. It's, as they say, work in progress. I'm work in progress. I'm working on it. I could resort to so many things, Carla. For example, listening to music, which I often do, talking to birds and animals, which I often do. And that time I feel pure joy, absolute pure joy. And that is the moment I feel that I discover that how did I perceive the joy in such a pure way? Because I was able to It's when I stopped looking for that external things. Within me, I just felt that aha moment, or I felt happy. So this is just a realization. It's not the end of the story. It's an ongoing, and it will remain till the last breath of mine.
Okay. How do you define happiness? What is
Happiness,
happiness?
definition, I don't know about definition, Carla, but the way I look at
Doesn't matter. I want to know from you, what is happiness? Shiksha, I'm not forgetting you. I'm trying to get to where I want to be. What is happiness? How do
joy,
you
complete joy. Complete joy in the way I am.
that? What is joy?
For each person, it's different. For
I
each
want you to define
person, it's
it.
different. For me, it's...
Listen to me.
Hmm.
You're not hearing the question, and it may be my fault.
Mhm.
What is joy to you? How do you define joy?
Creating a wonderful life for myself, irrespective of what's happening around me, would be joy or happiness to me. A meaningful life, if I want to add to it.
Give me an example of what you mean by joy. What is it?
Okay. Creating a meaningful life for myself.
What does that
means knowing? Yes.
Okay, go on.
Yes, Carla. No, it's good. You're making us think like this. It makes me unravel my mind also, and my consciousness also. Because as I strongly believe, the answers lie within me, right? So if you are saying that what is joy to me, it's creating that life's purpose for myself, trying to unravel what is the purpose of my life. And what I have realized at this stage of life is that the purpose of my life is to serve the divine purpose. That's the way I look at it. I strongly believe in this, that I'm a spark of the divine, and I've been sent here with some purpose. I'm not some blind creation. Just I've landed and I'll just live my life and I'll just move away. That is not going to make me. It should be worthy of something, some purpose of life for which I have been created by the Lord, and that is to serve him. And how do I serve him? How do I serve him? I serve him by reaching out to others. That's very important for me. For Shivali, this is very important. And in this, Shivali finds pure joy.
Okay. What do you have to say, Shiksha? First of all, introduce yourself so people know who you are. I didn't even have Shivali do that. Just a brief introduction.
Yeah, I'm Dr. GPS. Under the name of Shiksha is my trust. I stay in Hyderabad, India. I am from the south west of India, which is Kerala, which is a very small, narrow state. I am into teaching, learning. After my government service as a space scientist, working in government for 20 years, I am now in freelancer for last 13 years. Coming to the question of happiness, the Eastern philosophy, as a student of Eastern philosophy, the Bharatiya Shastra, it is very difficult to find happiness outside if your inside is not happy. So it's very clear you have to be happy inside. Why people have confusion on happiness? People identify desire and not satisfying desire, a desire for development, desire for seeing every place problems and troubles make you unhappy. Or if you go to a place where everybody is crying, I'm sure if a death happens and then you visit that house, even if they are not related to you, not known to you, if everybody is crying, you will also start crying. So external gives an impulse for us to get a feel, but the feel is within us. So that is momentary. So what is real happiness? How long you will keep this unhappiness and rewind yourself back into the happiness? Because by birth, all children are happy and we were all children in the young age. No suffering is there. We are all blessed to be happy with a lot of wisdom. The God's gift is within us. So desire is what is creating problem, karma. When Shivali is talking also, the word desire, I want, external things prompt me. This is what comes. Desire is always good, but it has to be within my limit. I cannot be in Delhi going around the Parliament House in the vehicle and imagine that I want that house as mine. I want to own it. It will never happen. So if you know how to limit your happiness, then you can find the means of getting that to you. So the first thing, desire in Bharatiya Shastram is called kama. The means of satisfying the desire is called artha. Artha is the means. So it could be money, it could be influence, it could be knowledge, it could be fame, it could be anything. So once I have the means of satisfying that desire through the proper value way, where after some time I will not keep my hand on my head and so, oh, I should not have done it, which makes me unhappy. So that unhappiness or happiness, logically thinking or feeling for that, it's all within us. It's not external. I can see a beautiful smiling face and be envy about them and feel sad inside. I can join with them to be happy also. You can have a company of people who are highly wise, lot of knowledge, good satsang, and you feel that, no, oh, I am not able to be like this. And the inside unhappiness will come. If you are inside happy person, you will join them openly and ask questions, you reflect, you start learning. So what gives happiness? In the whole world, there are only 3 categories, which is what Eastern philosophy says. I feel happy when I learn something. So happiness comes with learning. Second, happiness comes with earning. That earning can be money, it can be your influence, it can be status, positions, everything can be earning. And third one is fame. People are happy when they become famous. I know one more person today, Shivali got introduced to me, though I know, oh, I am broadcasting my program, some people contact me, definitely will feel happy. So 3 things: learn, earn, and fame. But underlying all these, what remains is the happiness. When I learn, do I become happy? When I earn, do I find happiness inside? When I become famous, am I becoming more and more happy? So if that sustains for a long time, that happiness is called bliss. So that is what we call it as desire, the means of satisfying desire, and the value added ways of getting it gives me blissfulness. Kama, artha, dharma, moksha. And that moksha is the ultimate happiness and blissfulness while I am dealing with the society, internally, with the relationship, at the working place, on the street, wherever. So I can give happiness only when I carry happiness inside. So I must be a person who carry happiness. That is what the purpose of every human being human, social being social, is what I want to contribute as the opening remarks.
Okay. We're talking about that now. And you use some terms that many people who are not from your country would understand. You use satsang, you use karma. Can you please give them some definition so people know what's going on?
One most commonly used word in the social gathering in Eastern philosophy, in Indian philosophy, is satsang. Sat means good, sang means company. So I have company of good people around. So what is good people? Who shares my thoughts? Assume I am seeing a cinema, or I am watching somebody playing football. If I am surrounded by people who really enjoy or who also share same discussion, then I am in a satsang. So if I am talking about religion and somebody do not carry the same spirit, or maybe we are not in good frequency with them, good biorhythm with them, definitely we are not in a good company. So satsang means being in good company, where me and who are all with us have little more wisdom, little more value addition in their life. It is not a materialistic well-being, a business gathering or a group. It's all for the purpose of attaining more sensible wisdom, more spiritually enlightened. So this is what generally we're talking, the religious satsang. That is one word. And the next one is the kama. Kama is desire. If I wanted to go to some place, that's my desire. Oh, I don't have money to buy my tickets, so I don't have means of attaining that desire. So what do? If I'm influential, probably somebody will sponsor my ticket. Somebody will take care of my expenses. So for every desire, I must find the ways of satisfying that desire. That's what I was explaining. Kama. Artha. Artha is the means of satisfying the desire. It could be influence, it could be positions, it could be somebody sponsoring. Because I'm a knowledgeable person, somebody can sponsor me for classes. I don't think I have paid my pocket money to come to Delhi anytime in my life, because somebody sponsors it, right? So if that is my spirit, I'm sharing what I have and somebody else is taking care of me. So always kama, a bounded, limited kama will make you satisfied. If it is unbounded, beyond your limits, then kama is most dangerous. So kama is desire, which is accepted desire. Oh, I am able to satisfy what I need so that I will become permanent happy, not a temporary happiness.
Okay. Do you believe that there is actual permanent happiness? Or does happiness go with what you get in life? I mean, we have moments that are sad and we have moments that are happy or joyful. Do we need to lose the happiness because of that particular moment? Or can we be happy unconditionally? And I'm going to ask both. I want both of you to answer that question.
Yeah. Happiness and sadness are part of life. If that stays momentary, then we can regain. That's where I started. If we can rewind and come back, because everybody cannot have a same status all the time. A small thing which is not supplied, when a child is crying for that, the child is unhappy. But immediately after something is coming to the child, definitely that forgets about what was the desire earlier and goes and picks up that and enjoys with that. You can see small toys are given to children. What do? They go behind it. Unstoppable desire. But assume you take away that and then give another better one, or maybe not that good one, but still they are happy. They got something that's good enough for them. We were all like that. We are satisfied what we have. So that moment happiness is substituted by, or it is replacing the moments of unhappiness. Every moment we need not be happy, but in a long run, for a longer period, when you have a lot of moments which can make you to feel happy, rejoicing those moments. I'm sure when you take an account of the happiness and unhappiness, you will find that not the tangible happiness, the intangible happiness, the feeling about that happiness is more valuable, more weighing more in your life. If that you can do, I'm sure for a long term, you will have happiness, and that we can call it as bliss. It is not tangible. It is intangible. The feeling about that, because happiness is the part of your inside manas, the feeling, thinking of happiness, the feeling of happiness. So it's an action inside. So it's me to decide whether I should shift from a bad moment to a good moment. So I like to have maximum time in my life or create moments that can be rejoiced. I don't think people believe or people think about years, months, weeks, days. We have only moments of happiness in life. It's all spontaneous. It's all accidental. We are not having too much of desire to get happiness. That comes, oh, we enjoy. So these are all bliss moments which can put together. A success is a succession of successes. So you have a lot of happiness put together, that becomes bliss.
Okay, Shivali.
Yes, thank you, Carla. Yes, Shiksha, I was listening to you, and what is again and again, which was coming to my mind is, when we are speaking of desires, and seeking happiness from the externals, there is no end to it. We all know that. Now, the question is, when we are looking at happiness versus or vis-a-vis these externals, the point is that as human beings, we tend to look towards the externals. We derive joy from these externals. And in other words, if I'm looking for, if I can use the word, permanent happiness, something which gives me eternal, okay, not permanent, eternal happiness, where, as you said, creating more and more that moments of rejoicing, true happiness, pure happiness, which is coming from within. But point is that if I am going to depend more on the externals, I'm looking for things which are anyway not permanent. So when my source of joy becomes things which are actually not permanent, which can escape my hand or my life at any moment, they come also, I'm grateful for it, but they can slip out of my hands also at any moment. That's what life is all about. So don't you, this is what I feel. I shouldn't say don't you, I should be telling this to myself. Then I just cannot keep on thinking in terms of the external desires. There is no end to it. There is no end to it. My one desire gets fulfilled, another one will crop up. That's human nature. So that is what should make me think as an individual that what am I really seeking in life? This is important. So if I can create a life, irrespective of the situation in which I am, irrespective of, whether I have those tangible things or I don't have them, I yet remain, balanced in my mind and spirit. I remain joyful. I remain happy. And that is true happiness, I would say. Where my joy is not dependent on these external desires, which anyway have no end to it. This karma thing has no end to it. It will be replaced by something else. We all know this. They are impermanent things. They are there. They are needed. They have their value. Nobody's denying that. But there's impermanence. So if human beings seek joy in impermanent thing, The happiness itself is going to be impermanent. It cannot be. It's going to be dealing with a temporal reality all the time. And I think this is where that realization seeps in at some point of time, that what am I doing with myself? You know, like someone might say, I remember I had heard someone, he or she said that, you know, seeking this internal joy is also a desire. Yes, it's the desire, but the focus is totally different then. Then, as you have rightly pointed out, that, you know, if I'm internally happy, when I look upon the externals, then in all situations, good and not so good, I remain happy within and without. This is what was coming to my mind.
And if you're saying internal, what do you mean? Are you saying that we should be balanced, or we should be going after what is outside of us more so than what is inside of us? Shivali.
For me, as a human being, my strength lies within me. I repeat this again. The strength lies within each one of us. You know, if I am to use the Buddhist language, we are all Buddhas. You know, that spirit of Buddhahood resides within each of us. Buddha was not some god, right? It's about the invincible spirit of the human beings. That is what I'm talking. So irrespective of what is happening around me.
There's something weird about your mic today. Every once in a while, we hear another voice. Do you know what's going on, Shivali?
No.
Okay, keep talking.
Because there's nobody around.
Yeah, that's why it's really strange. Go on. Now it's fine. So.
Or maybe some spirits are hovering around me right now.
No, it's your voice. You are
It's my voice.
echoing.
Okay. Maybe because I am not using a mic today. I'm directly speaking through the laptop. Maybe that could be one reason.
I doubt it, because I do that all the time.
That could be something.
Don't worry.
Next time I'll put on.
Talking.
Yes. So I feel that as human being, if I'm seeking joy in the externals, there is no end to it. Number one. Secondly, I'm seeking joy from those things which are anyway temporal. They are temporal. There's no, what should I say? There is no permanence in those things. So what should I say? A temporary kind of illusion is created of joy, but the point is those things are necessary. Nobody's denying it. But for a human being, if I am able to create a life of great resilience, compassion, sincerity, whatever I'm doing, whatever is my purpose of life, then what happens is that I can create a successful both material life as well as a spiritual life. I think that's important to understand. If I'm totally dependent only on the material existence, it's not going to work. It'll give me temporary joy. It'll give me flickering joy. So true joy, as you are asking to me, what is true joy, is that in spite of the impermanence of things around me, irrespective of the situations around me, whatever is happening in the external world, I still remain joyful. I create that joyful life for myself, that I can face all situations, you know, with, what should I say, peace and joy. And it's not easy. Anyone who's listening to us may ask that, oh, it sounds very philosophical, or, oh no, how do you tell this to a person? It's a process. There is no formula. You cannot fix it that I'll have this pill and this medicine and I will get joy. There is no such thing. This is what I strongly believe. And being grounded in this philosophy, Eastern philosophy, as Shiksha ji has very rightly pointed out, we all know about it. And what about karmas? I think this is, for me, this karmas plays a very strong role. That is why joy varies from person to person also.
Wait a minute. Do you have your phone on too?
No.
Do you have your Facebook page open?
No. No.
Because that's usually why that happens. Okay, go on.
No.
I can't do anything about it. So
Wait, I'll do something about it. If it's disturbing, means it's disturbing. So let's look for a
Right.
solution. I'll try it out. Shiksha, please carry on. I'll just put on this headphone. Maybe it'll work.
just make sure that you do not have your Facebook page on.
No, it's not open. Carla, it's not open.
Okay. Shiksha?
Yeah. We have great philosophical book, Bhagavad Gita, with over 700 slokas, 700 verses. Krishna, the Ishwar, in English called God. Krishna gives advice to Arjuna. And the first advice is Ashochya. Ashochya ananya shochastam. That's how it starts. Ashochya. Don't be sad. And the last sloka in the 18th chapter, it says Ma Shucha. Don't be sad. The whole Bhagavad Gita has only one message. Don't be sad. So happiness is not getting worried, not being turned off in the moments of troubles and problems. But some people have that habit, nothing can be done. So raising from that habit to a higher level is what is expected. Assume my ambition, my desire is to climb on top of the mountain. The whole climbing mountain becomes so horrible karma, action, which is really troubling. But if mount climbing is my passion, every step which I take in my life becomes so fantastic.
Lakshmi.
So it's all what you think where you can identify happiness. So it is not the ultimate goal which gives me happiness. Every point of time what I do in my life has to give happiness. So LIFE, life, I define it as live in full enjoyment.
This is gone. I don't know.
So LIFE, life, live in full enjoyment. Life itself is enjoyment. Learning, for most of the people, learning is a big problem. They suffer learning. For me, life, learn in full enjoyment. So who decides what gives me happiness? It is not my desire which stops me. It is my attitude towards how I am going to achieve, satisfy, get to my ultimate. If somebody says the materialistic things gives me happiness, it's all up to you. If I like to have a beautiful dress, when you put on to you, you are not seeing it. You have to be in front of a mirror to see it. So external things, it can take only up to your body, not inside your heart, inside your manas, inside your feelings. Inside your feelings, no material can go. But if I'm so happy seeing it externally on somebody else, I must also feel happy. When I see a beautiful flower, if I think I must have it in my garden, seeing everywhere makes me unhappy. But if it is in neighbor's garden, I am able to see that every day and enjoy. I don't want to pluck it. My happiness is always there. So the definition of happiness is very well defined in Bhagavad Gita. Your karma, your passion, devotion, that determines how much happiness you can derive from your actions. So there are no troubles in life. It's only the way you look at the trouble and accept it as your experience. I think the other time when we had a discussion, I was talking about I have a great expectation. and I compare with what experience which I had. Therefore, what happens? The present enjoyment I am suffering. So if I can convert my experience for attaining a good expected outcome from my desire, I'm sure I can enjoy every moment. And that is what is being spiritual. And that is what is being enlightened. That is what is getting into higher level of spirituality. It is not controlling desire. It is how do you look at desire and how do you look at every action which you take for getting to that point. You think that that is the ultimate. Therefore, life is full of enjoyment. Ena kena prakarena. Do something somewhere, somehow, to help somebody. Ena kena prakarena. Yasya kasyapi dehinaha. What you do doesn't matter.
Well, if you are going to use words in your language, that's fine. But you need to translate them.
That is what I'm doing.
Okay.
Yasya kasyapi dehinaha. To whomever you want to support, anybody on the street, what you do, where do you do, when do you do, doesn't matter. Make somebody else happy in your life. And that happiness will reflect in you. So you will find happiness for longer time. So happiness have to be spread. You cannot be happy and people are suffering around you. That is what is to be done.
What do you have to
Can
say?
I ask something of you? Yes. Can you hear me now, Carla?
It's not hearing you. It's the echo that comes and goes. And I don't think it's
But there's nothing around.
you. I heard it with Shiksha too. Shiksha, do you have your Facebook page open?
No, it's only one window which we are talking now, nothing else.
Very strange. Okay, go on, Shivali.
Yes, Shiksha has brought in something very beautiful. So I was just thinking, about these karmas. See, we have no control over our past, right? It's the present that we can really look upon at this moment. It's like in Buddhism also they talk about this. And of course, in our Bhagavad Gita, we have great details about this, that it's not about so much the past. The past has already created the present, that, the principle of cause and effect. So if I'm talking in terms of happiness, as a topic is for today, it's what I'm creating right now, the action that I am taking right now. Whatever I'm doing, I'm supposed to do action. I cannot sit without action, right? I have to do my karmas. I have to act upon. And this is what is going to create my future also, right? So if we are talking in terms of karmas past, we have no control over it. It's about how we are creating that sense of well-being and joy in my present life with the right kind of action. And therein, I think, lies I think the key that unfolds. It's not about the desires. We cannot be without desires. Nobody's asking us to be without desires. Definitely not. But, it's how we are creating the proper life for ourselves based on whatever our teachings are, whatever our philosophy, whichever religion we could be practicing, or maybe we are not following any religion. Ultimately, it's about the divine purpose of life and how we are creating the life in the present. What kind of life are we creating? And in today's world, I think most of us know this, we are facing a very complex society, a very complex world, a very, very complex world where there's a clash of desires of individuals. Then what do we do in that situation? So now we don't have control over our externals. We want to be the controllers, but we cannot be the controllers. We know that. And this is there in a Bhagavad Gita also. We know who is the controller. But human beings, somehow, with that bent of mind, we seek to control things, and that becomes the cause of distress. So happiness is nothing, just the opposite of this. When I am at ease. I'm at ease. So this is another thing which is coming to my mind. So if Carla is asking me again and again, this Shivali, what is joy to you? What is happiness? It is being at ease at a certain particular, I would say, a state of mind. It brings me to this question of my state of mind, that irrespective of what is happening in the externals, I remain joyous in that pure state of bliss. So a lot of things are coming right now at different levels.
Okay, a lot of things are always coming. And we think it's just us, but it isn't. It's everyone in the world. How can we help people realize going within meditation, becoming aware of who we are, is more important than becoming aware of who everyone else is? We can change ourselves much faster than we can change anyone else. In fact, we can't change anyone else. That is the job of that person. So how do you reflect on that, Shiksha? I hope I asked the question clearly.
Yeah, it is very easy if you realize the difference between showing happiness, feeling happiness, and being in happiness. Most of the people are not raised to the level of being happy. They are searching for happiness, showing for happiness. They're not really happy. That's what generally we ask, how are you feeling? The feeling is only a feeling. It is not being. So when I'm in happiness, it's a different ecstasy. And people are not into that level. It's very hard to understand. And people say that nobody can reach there. It's like you are not really thirsty and then you never had a sip of water. The taste of water comes only when you are really thirsty and you get that water. People are pretending that, oh, I got it, or I am in search of it. It needs a lot of blessings. It needs to be with the gurus who are already realized. It is not a market where you can buy and drink and say that, no, I enjoyed drinking that. No. I think spirituality is oversold. The desire for being into that world of immense pleasure is what is being marketed in terms of the so-called meditation. If people take the origin and then find out, the meditation has got 8 steps. Meditation, which we call samadhi in Eastern philosophy, Indian philosophy, is the highest level which can never be taught to anybody. So, as I cannot teach the taste of water to somebody else, it is for me to feel it. You have to reach to that level to understand it. I am from a Swami Rama Himalayan tradition master's student. So what we do is, how do we get to that moments of happiness in life so that you can cherish that and you control your desires, or maybe lose that desire and then allow it to grow and go. You become only a watchful person. The trouble comes and goes, but you are not part of it. If you start binding yourself with all the troubles, then it becomes a luggage on you. It needs a lot of courage. I taught Bhagavad Gita 3 times. It's not reading and going through that or listening. Verse by verse, meaning by meaning, and interpreting and understanding. That needs 1,000 times of reading. So when you realize it, you become a realized person. you need to reach into that level to understand, oh, there is a message like this. This is what I have to gulp inside me. So happiness comes only when you reach there. Otherwise, it's always a longing desire. And people start showing it, people start feeling it. But being in that is a long way. This is what I wanted to add.
I hope you don't mind, but some people, like in the West, are not trained in understanding some of this.
Yeah.
So it needs to be said simply. How can, what you said, I totally understood. But how can you say it very simply for those who may never have heard of enlightenment, maybe never heard of satsang or what is it? I'm not criticizing, I'm just helping to bring it more to that understanding. Can you help?
Yeah. When each word, when we talk about kama, which is desire, I'm sure the language in which we speak, if you want to translate, we are only reaching very close to that. So here, the being in happiness is what is samadhi. Samadhi means your electroencephalograph, the brain vibration becomes stable. That means you have no desire. That is what Shivali was telling. Having a desire itself to reach into that level of enlightenment, if you are looking at it as a desire, that becomes actually annoying. So what is to be done? Accept it as it goes. Life is like a flow. In that flow, you have a lot of hurdles. Even when you have hurdles, if there is a stoppage, when it overflows, what we see is the beauty of the flow. But if you think that is a problem in your life where you are not able to flow, somebody is stopping me, it becomes unhappiness. So whoever is along with you, whoever is supporting or opposing you, whoever is criticizing you, whoever is judging you, don't take them as obstacles in life. Take them as reason for you to overjoy your flow tomorrow. So you can also convert everybody's company into a beneficial activity in your life. So that is what I mean by satsang. Satsang doesn't mean everybody supports you and you are in the same frequency. You can have a different frequency, but you enjoy that frequency so that you can create something new. You can create yourself, identify, reflect on what is happening around you. You find reasons for changing your path, identifying new ways of looking at life. Such discussions happens. And that is what is called a satsang.
So you don't necessarily need to agree with every word that's being said, but just hear it and relate to it. Shivali, do you have anything to add to this? Because we are coming to the end of the show.
Yes, thank you, Carla. Yes, Shiksha, when he's speaking of satsang, whatever he said very beautifully, he has mentioned it. Along with it, there was another thing which was coming to my mind is association. You know, the kind of people or the situations in which we are associated. I think with satsang comes association. With the right association, if I can use that word, with the right association, automatically satsang, you know, speaking about truth happens. So that was one thought which was coming to my mind. It's our association matters a lot. It really matters. It influences us. That is why we look for like-minded people, in the sense that it's not necessary that we are agreeing with each other. How boring that would be, right? And yet we are able to relate to each other. I think the heart matters. That is why. So if you're looking at joy, joy resides in our own hearts. If I can come back to that. So connecting heart to heart would be true joy for us as well as for others. This was coming to my mind again and again.
Okay. Do you have any last remaining words to share, Shiksha?
Yeah, we have to be very thorough with what is relationship, what is that is around me in terms of wealth, health, career, activity which I have got. Everything adds, and that adds to our experience of enjoying life. So it is to be experienced. That's what I wanted to add.
Thank you. And life is an experience. Does it need to be taken seriously all the time?
Yes.
You think life should be serious all the time?
No. Life is an adventure. It's a one big adventure.
Right. Why do you say, Shiksha, that life should be serious all the time and we should be real? I want it this way. Or
No,
should we at ease with it?
Yeah, serious doesn't mean that you are not happy. You are enjoying every moment and you can be serious. I am very serious in studying, but I am deriving happiness from that. So it is not what you think serious means. No, you don't derive enjoy happiness inside. What is showing is probably not good, but what is feeling is what is experience. So I am a very serious person. When I discuss, I enjoy. Just because I don't smile, it doesn't mean I don't have happiness, right? So that's an external one, and what is internal is that derivation of happiness. You need to have that feeling.
And what is that feeling?
Yeah, that feeling is which I create a moment where I can come back to this and say, oh, I had a great time. I can share with somebody else and say, oh, this is what we discussed and this is what my learning is. Oh, this is where I met this person and then had a good relation. Oh, this is where I met and create a frequency of activeness. And that is what a cherishable moment in life. How many such moments you create in your life is what is the credit for life. That's what I believe.
Okay, what do you think, Shivali?
One line was coming again to my mind. The inner child is always joyous. We need to rediscover the child within us. The inner child is ever joyous, ever happy, and it doesn't need any definition. So if we could relate more to that inner child, things would be better for us as well as for the world around us.
Thank you so very much, both Shivali and Shiksha. I am so happy we did this show and we're back on air. As I said, we'll be off for a tiny bit probably in February and then back again. And I want to thank you guys for being here and sharing your thoughts on happiness, whether it's an inside job or an outside job. And on Thursday, we have a great panel, but we have one very, very special guest. And I'm not going to reveal it now, but I think everyone's going to have fun with it. Can we wave goodbye, everyone? Bye.
Bye.